Dear students, the next point is alkaloid. Now see the introduction part of the alkaloid. So there are large number of plants which containing organic compounds, and these organic compounds contain at least one nitrogen atom, and these nitrogen atoms form a part of heterocyclic ring. These compounds are known as plant or vegetable alkaloids. Means what? The plants containing the organic compounds, and these organic compounds contain at least one nitrogen atom, and this nitrogen atom is a part of heterocyclic ring, and these compounds are known as the vegetable alkaloids or plant alkaloids. These are basic in nature and have strong physiological action. Due to the presence of nitrogen atom in these molecules, this molecule or alkaloid becomes basic in nature and they have strong physiological action. Now, what is the source of alkaloids? More than 5,000 alkaloids are found in more than 150 families of plants. So there are large number of varieties of alkaloids will be found in the plant. They are widely distributed, particularly in dicotyledons or higher plants, and less abundantly found in lower plants. They are found only in 10 to 15% of all the vascular plants. So the most abundance of these alkaloids is in the vascular plants. Due to their basic nature, alkaloids occur in plants as salt of organic acids. So due to this basic nature of these alkaloids are usually occur in plant as a salt of this acid. Some also occur in free state also. These alkaloids occur in seeds, roots, barks and leaves of plants. Some alkaloids occur as glycosides of sugars, some as amides and some as esters of organic acids. Many of the alkaloids are optically active in nature. Alkaloids are poisonous in nature but are used medicinally in very small quantities. Means a large amount varieties of alkaloids are obtained from different plant families, and these alkaloids are obtained from different parts of the plant, and these alkaloids are due to basic in nature. They usually occur in the form of salt. There are some examples now see here. So the example of alkaloids is glycosides, alkaloids of solanum and veratrum group occurs as a glycosides of sugar like glucose, rhamnose, etc. So alkaloids occur in the form of esters, that is atropine, cocaine. Alkaloids in the form of amide, it is a piperine. Alkaloid also occur in the form of salt of organic acid, that is opium alkaloid and nicotine. So this is a source from which the alkaloids are obtained. So now the next is how the alkaloids are classified. In earlier days, when the structures of most of the alkaloids were not known, they were classified according to the plant genera in which they occur. That is, according to the source of plant, these alkaloids are classified initially like opium, ephedra, cinchona, etc. But now alkaloids are classified according to the main heterocyclic system present in them. So now in today's era, the classification of alkaloids is based on which type of heterocyclic system is present in them. So the classification is based on the plant source as indicated here. This is the table type of alkaloids and their source. So the alkaloid containing pyrrolidine, that is a hydrogen molecule is example, and it is based on the plant source coca alkaloid. If you see, different examples are given here. So nicotine is there. So in nicotine, one pyridine ring and one pyrrolidine ring is there. So in nicotine, the two heterocyclic rings are there, pyridine and pyrrolidine. So 6-membered pyridine is there and 5-membered pyrrolidine structure is there. So if you see the atropine structure, there is also a heterocyclic ring structure is there. Quinoline like structures are also present in these alkaloids. So phenanthrene structure is also there, indole structure is there. So in morphine, the phenanthrene structure is there, therefore it is known as phenanthrene alkaloid. So depending upon the uh, heterolytic system or heterolytic structure in the alkaloids, these are classified according to the structures of heterocyclic compounds. So the next point is Hofmann's exhaustive methylation and degradation in alkaloids. So it is most important point considering the examination. So what is meant by Hofmann's exhaustive methylation and its degradation in alkaloids? Now see here, this is an important degradation method in the determination of structure of alkaloid. So while determining the structure of organic compound, we must know this Hofmann exhaustive methylation reaction. This is applied to alkaloids for opening the heterocyclic ring with the elimination of nitrogen. So to open the alkaloid structure, we must apply this reaction, that is Hofmann exhaustive methylation reaction. From the nature of remaining carbon skeleton, the nature of heterocyclic ring can be determined. Now see what is the general procedure here. The general procedure is to hydrogenate the heterocyclic ring. So firstly we are going to hydrogenate, that is unsaturated structure is converted into a saturated ring structure. Then after that, treating the compound repeatedly with methyl iodide, so that structure which is after hydrogenation, it is reacted and repeatedly methylated by use of methyl iodide until we get a quaternary methyl ammonium iodide. So the methylation processes continue until the formation of quaternary methyl ammonium iodide, and this compound is then treated with a moist silver oxide or dilute alkali to form the corresponding quaternary methyl ammonium hydroxide. So initially what we obtain, that is quaternary methyl ammonium iodide, so that salt is converted into the hydroxide by treating with this silver oxide or dilute alkali. So when the quaternary hydroxide is distilled, the hydroxide ion and the beta hydrogen atoms are lost as a molecule of water with the simultaneous fission of one of the carbon nitrogen linkage. When the process is repeated on the product, another molecule of water is lost with the fission of other carbon nitrogen linkage, so that nitrogen is totally eliminated as a trimethylamine. The resulting product is an unsaturated diene, which is in general gets isomerized to a conjugated diene. These series of reactions can be illustrated by conversion of pyridine to piperidine is the next example. So now see here what is exactly we do in the Hofmann exhaustive methylation and degradation process. Now see, we will first see the example, then you will know what is methylation process and Hofmann exhaustive methylation process. So this is a pyridine. So initially all these double bonds are get removed by the hydrogenation process. So after hydrogenation, so this compound is converted into this saturated cyclic ring structure. Then this compound is treated with this methyl iodide. So the lone pair of nitrogen attacks here, and the hydrogen of this nitrogen is replaced by methyl group. Now in the next step, again this compound is repeatedly reacted with methyl iodide, and finally we have this quaternary ammonium methyl iodide structure, where the nitrogen now contains 1, 2, 3 and 4, that is 4 substituents on the nitrogen atom. So in the next, this molecule is moistened with silver oxide, then this iodine is replaced by hydroxide group. Now in the next step is more important. This hydroxide group abstract the proton from, so now see this is alpha carbon, beta carbon. So at the beta carbon there is a hydrogen atom is there, beta carbon. So this OH group abstract the proton, this bond is shifted here and this bond is get broken, and the bond between this carbon and nitrogen is broken due to the heating, and the carbon nitrogen bond linkages get broken. And again the same procedure is repeated again and again Initially it is reacted with methyl iodide. Again the lone pair of electrons of nitrogen is reacted with methyl group, and again quaternary ammonium iodide is formed, and again it is reacted with silver oxide, and finally it is converted into this quaternary ammonium hydroxide. And finally, which on heating, the bond between this nitrogen and carbon is getting removed, and we are getting this compound which on isomerization, and finally we get the 1,3 pentadiene system. Hence, by use of this methylation degradation continuously, we come to determine the structure of this heterocyclic ring structure in the molecule. So this heterocyclic ring, which contains 5 carbon atoms and 1 nitrogen atom. So we come to notice that the heterocyclic ring which is present in the molecule in the alkaloid is of 6-membered ring. So I will explain in the next here in the last page what is the mechanism of Hofmann exhaustive methylation process. See here, this is a pyridine ring structure is there. So initially this pyridine is hydrogenated by use of hydrogen, then all the double bonds of this molecule are get removed, and this nitrogen, double bond nitrogen, is converted into this structure. So all the double bonds are all the double bonds are get removed due to this hydrogenation process. Now this molecule is reacted with the methyl iodide structure, methyl iodide. Now see here, the lone pair of electrons which are present here, it attacks on this carbon, iodine is removed, and now the structure is N-methyl. So iodine is removed as I minus. So this nitrogen now has a methyl substituent. This nitrogen contains 4 groups, so therefore this I minus removes proton here, and it gives electrons to the nitrogen, and finally we contain N substituted this piperidine compound. So again this compound is reacted with a second molecule of methyl iodide. Again the lone pair of electrons present on that molecule is attacked on the methyl group. Then we get methyl structure, and now the nitrogen has a positive charge. So this is a quaternary ammonium iodide structure. So this quaternary ammonium iodide structure is reacted with silver hydroxide, and then this iodine is replaced by this OH group. Now the structure becomes so CH3. This nitrogen has a positive charge, and instead of iodine now OH group is there. So this OH group abstracts the proton from beta carbon atom. So this is the alpha carbon, this is the beta carbon having hydrogen. So this OH group abstracts the proton from that beta carbon, electrons are shifted, and the bond between this carbon and nitrogen is get broken, and the electrons are shifted on the nitrogen. Now see here, the structure becomes CH3, electrons are shifted here. There is a double bond due to the removal of water molecules. There is a cleavage of bond takes place between this carbon and nitrogen. So again this molecule is repeatedly reacted with methyl iodide in the first step. So now the lone pair of electrons of this nitrogen attacks on this methyl iodide. The bond between this methyl and iodine is removed. The structure becomes so CH3, a new CH3 is attached here, CH3. Now the nitrogen is positive charge. Initially the double bond is already present in the molecule. So this is a quaternary ammonium iodide structure is formed, and then the structure is reacted with silver hydroxide. So iron is removed. So NCH3, CH3, CH3, it has positive charge, and this has a OH group is there. Now similar to the first this mechanism, again this OH group abstract the proton from this beta carbon alpha beta. It abstract the proton, electrons are shifted, the bond between carbon and nitrogen is get broken, and finally we get a structure double bond plus NCH3 CH3 CH3 lone pair of electrons with the removal of water molecule. So this alkene molecule is get isomerized into a dinecysteine. So this is what the overall hormone exhaustive methylation, hydrogenation with repeated methylation reaction, then dehydration reaction, again methylation, dehydration reaction, and finally we get a structured compound. And through this structured compound we can say that in the molecule along with this 5-membered carbon 1 2 3 4 nitrogen is there, and this gives us the structure of the molecule. So the second example is tropine is also a secondary alcohol which gives us tropyridine by Hofmann exhaustive methylation process. The last point of this topic is hormones. So now see here what is hormones is nothing but hormones are organic substances which are secreted by the ductless glands and helps in the chemical coordination of various processes going on in the body. So balancing of our body, the digestion of our body, sensation of the body or sensation of the cells is all because of the secretion of hormones in the body. They are also present in the plant kingdom. Changes such as elongation in the individual plant stems, roots are due to a special hormones termed as auxins, and these auxins are secreted in the plant. So this auxin is secreted in the apical region, that is upper part of this plant, which spread by diffusion throughout the plant. So due to these hormones which are secreted into the plant, and because of these hormones the growth of plant or growth of human being takes place. Now the classification of hormones and its structure and source. There are 4 classes of hormones based on its structure. So first one is peptide or protein hormones, second is amino acid derivatives, third hormones are fatty acid derivatives, and last are the steroid hormones. So now see the first protein or peptide hormones. What are the examples? Thyrotropin releasing hormones, TRH, is nothing but it is a peptide hormone. Insulin is a type of protein hormone. So what insulin secreted in the body is nothing but it is the protein. Next is amino acid derivatives. The thyroid hormones or adrenaline are nothing but these are the amino acid derivatives. Prostaglandins are nothing but these are the fatty acid derivatives in which fat is there, fatty acids are there. And last is the steroid hormones, testosterone, estradiol. So whatever it is secreted, it is only because of the due to the hormonal changes in the body, and these hormones contains steroids. They have given the example, that is adrenaline. So this adrenaline is a amino acid derivative. It is the internal secretion of medulla part of the adrenal gland, which is just above the kidney. So this adrenaline is secreted through the medulla part of this adrenal gland, which is located just above the kidney. Adrenaline was isolated in crystalline form, and the naturally occurring form is a levorotatory structure, while the synthetic one is a racemic. The former, that is the naturally occurring adrenaline, is twice active as of the synthesized one. So these are the structures of epinephrine. Norepinephrine structure is there. So the main function of this adrenal is to increase the blood pressure. It is also used to stop the blood hemorrhage. The hormone is active only when given in the form of injection. So this adrenaline hormone is most important to increase the blood pressure in the body. So this is what the hormones are there. The introduction of this hormone for your syllabus. Just the classification and the one example, that is adrenaline. Thank you.